If you believe that Dumbo or Pepe Le Pew or
Dr. Zeus,
and who was the latest cartoon? Speedy Gonzales, that these are nefarious characters that poison the minds of young people, this is a living proof of how little wrong there is with the country. I'll give you a human example. Let us say you are married to a wonderful human being. However, this human being, on occasion, I'm trying to think of something that is truly trivial. It's trivial to the point of almost non-existence. This person does just about everything right, but is 30 seconds late whenever you leave the house, your spouse, your partner. 30 seconds. Consistently. And you then speak of your spouse as bordering, your condition is bordering on divorce because your spouse is habitually a minute late. That is what the left is to America. They create, nobody cares if you're a minute late. No one, no normal human being. The left is not normal, morally normal. There's another thing that I'm glad you actually mentioned all of this. There's another thing that is at work here. The left loathes joy. Every joy must be compromised. The joy of driving your own car, the joy of owning your own home, the joy of and you oh right, yes, that's right, eating meat. That's correct. Look, my wife is a vegetarian. She doesn't give me a hard time, though. See, I have respect for vegetarians. It's actually a morally compelling argument. There is one. There are moral arguments for meat eating. But every joy, oh yes, you mentioned straws. Yes, that's right. People were using straws. People were using paper bags. I don't think people understand how big the ocean is. The idea that plastic will ruin the ocean. Have you ever actually seen, there is, unless Google has suppressed it, there is a drawing on the internet of the entirety of the area of plastic in the ocean. And needless to say, you cannot see it. If you took a picture, and they did, of the Pacific Ocean, it would be such a speck as to be invisible to the naked eye. Now, I'm not happy if turtles get straws in their nostrils, but I think people need to put things into perspective. We are living in the age of absurdity because there is a need for the absurd to further the cause of the left. All whites are racist is as absurd as Dumbo is racist. Except it's a more venal lie. But it's absurd, right? It's a white who's saying it. So why should I listen to you? Why isn't your morality compromised by the fact that you say it? And by the way, since I know I'm not a racist, I know it. I know I am not a racist as much as I know that I am Dennis Prager. Okay? So therefore, I can only assume you know you are a racist, since you are saying all whites are racist. Why would I invite you to lecture? What if somebody went around saying all Gentiles are anti-Semites? And this was a Gentile, a non-Jew, who said this. Why would I want to listen to an anti-Semite? An admitted anti-Semite? We live in the age of the absurd because there's nothing rational for them to attack. So that everything is made up. Everything is made up. Riots over something made up. Yes, it's made up that there is extensive and systemic police anti-black brutality. Follow the science is one of the great lies of the left because they don't follow the science, meaning the numbers, the tiny numbers of blacks killed by police in a given year. Tiny. Especially unarmed blacks. That's the issue, right? Unarmed. Hands up, don't shoot was a lie. President called Nazis fine people was a lie. The left is a world of the absurd and of the lie. Every morning I wake up and I hear another absurdity because the country is so decent, basically, that you have to say, but you were a minute late last November. You are unworthy of marriage. Let's divorce. Truth is, I wish the left did divorce. I have a fantasy every so often of left states, the Soviet states and the free states of America. I know where I would live. Be very curious. I'd like to ask liberals, would you rather live in a state governed by Republicans or Democrats, left or right? I wonder what they would say. Would you rather live in Texas, where there's no more, talk about absurd, the absurdity? Get vaccinated, you still need a mask. You get vaccinated, you still shouldn't travel. What the hell is the point of the vaccine? So the absurd governs our time. But there's a reason. That's what you have to remember. Because you must enter the world of the absurd to attack America as systemically racist or anything else. Yep. Skunk doesn't take no for an answer in his sexual desires. To think of the youth of America poisoned by that skunk. It's amazing how many decent men have been developed in this country who have withstood that cartoon.